So Pat and Matthew, we're here now the first week of March, and so look, we'll do an update on all things livestock in Ireland and the UK. So Pat, let's start in Ireland. What's trading here in the first week of March?
Yeah, so what we move in, I suppose, birthday is the bulling heifers will start the trading. Freshly calved stock now are freely coming available, I suppose, after calving down and getting a week on farm there to make sure heifers are right. Guys are getting up to their numbers now, what they need for the year ahead, and are selling stock. And thankfully, I suppose the weather obviously has been horrific for everyone, but thankfully we have buyers coming out there now. They're looking to take the stock straight away. What's playing into that, I suppose, TB buyers birthday we have, and then you guys maybe who were tight with nitrates as well and are taking the stock now, rather than carrying them over the winter. So they're probably the two big things, the bulling heifer starting and the calf stock. We still have a few maybe in-calf heifers moving as well, but maybe on the point of calving are very close to it.
Okay, let's start so with cows. Who's selling and who's buying?
Yeah, so
and prices.
Again, derogation maybe making changes there, Bertie, as to who's selling. Guys are just lining up their numbers for the year ahead. Maybe some people have lost land, different situations like that. We still have massive demand for herd sales, and who's buying those, I suppose, is guys again who lost a lot of animals to TB, looking to replace them, and obviously getting in a good herd of cows is brilliant from the one source. We'd say when I suppose they've had an issue with TB, is the last thing they want to be bringing back onto the farmers. Any risks there? Prices, range in prices really. Calved heifers are anywhere between 15 to 1800. The bulling heifer market then is probably between 7 and 9 at the moment there, which is probably slightly stronger than what we would have predicted before Christmas.
Right.
So yeah, that's then.
On the maiden heifers, any difference between the black and whites and the crossbreds in demand? And
no, I suppose Bertie looked, it goes back to the co-op report, farm they're coming from and how well they're reared, If they like black and whites and crossbreds, it's a question we're constantly asked. There isn't a massive difference. If the animal is good enough, it will fetch the higher prices. If the animals they're not able to stand up to scrutiny, they're not being sold, or they're at a lower price really. The AI breed coming from a herd doing around 500 kilos milk solids, well-grown animals, that's what the demand is for.
And what's the mix between Irish and UK buyers for maidens?
Yeah, so I suppose what we'd see there is that we have UK buyers, and Matthew will touch on them briefly there as well, but we have UK buyers, and I suppose again they're looking for the better, maybe a slightly stronger animal than what's available in the UK. In regards to the crossbred animals in the UK are probably slightly smaller, maybe fair to say, compared to the Irish animal. Maybe we're going back that small bit more Frisian now again, just to bring a bit of volume back into the cow. But the UK farmers they're looking at the high EBI black and white animal that's suitable for grazing, but still want to stay with a traditional breed with the black and whites rather than not going with the crossbreds. But the UK farmers, I suppose we've seen it, they have crossbreds, they're not afraid of still going with crossbreds, whereas maybe if you're not used to crossbreds, it's harder maybe to cross over the line really, I suppose, to start using them.
Okay, so I suppose to summarise the Irish situation, you have demand for herds, freshly calved stock, and maiden heifers then with high EBI. Whatever. Maybe there's an element of the April-May calver as well for the UK market as well, potentially.
That's realistically where we have demand for them. They generally don't stay in Ireland. So it's over, I suppose we would encourage people to get in contact there now, because what we don't want is to be sending animals that are springing or getting closer to calving. So if you have April calving stock, we really want to be getting them going. If they're at the tail end of April, we need to get them going now in the next week or two, really.
Right. So Matthew, we'll move on to you. You're here today. You came in yesterday.
Yep, that's right, Bertie.
I suppose, what were you looking at, or what kind of groups?
So looking at maiden heifers, we've got good demand for maiden heifers at the moment. They need to be from herds doing 500 kilos milk solids and with a 550 kilo mature weight animal. That's the market we tended to see in the UK. We have got some available in the UK, but we've just got larger quantities available over here in Ireland that fit the bill. There still is demand for the crossbreds in the UK, but the main demand is for the black and white at the moment. April calvers as well. We've still got good demand for April calvers. Again, crossbreds and black and whites really. Anything that's calved in April and May, there's a demand for. We have got availability in the UK of them, but we are looking for more all the time.
Okay. And what's driving the demand there for your April-May calver?
There's quite a lot of new entrants gone in, starting farming end of this month, beginning of next month. They're looking to start new herds with the April-May calvers, and also just people generally wanting to lift production during to match grass growth, TB losses. Just strong demand for anything that's calved or close to calving at the moment.
Okay. So prices then for people, what are the ranges, Matthew? For say cows, let's start with cows.
Cows, really starting really around that 12 to 1300 mark, just depending on whether it's crossbred or black and white. You know, fresh calf stock, we've got limited fresh calf stock. Again, that's probably around the £1,300 mark at the moment.
And say the converse of that is at the higher end then, you know, where there's a lack of imports, is there, from mainland Europe that was there before?
There is, yeah. So there is a lack of imports from mainland Europe. A lot of the European cattle are going to the Middle East. For high-end Holsteins, there is a demand for that £2,000 Holstein heifer, the one that's doing 30 litres. You know, there is some available here in Ireland, which will do just as good job as what the Danish imports will do. TB status is good, health status is good. And, you know, we're actively looking for more of those, and they are available here.
Okay. Say calves then, is there much demand for calves, or is it more autumn-born calves? Where does it trade?
It's limited.
Yeah.
There's a good availability of calves available. We've got good availability in the UK of calves. At the moment, demand is limited. Hopefully, as the season goes on, that demand will lift, especially come weaning age. But just at the moment, it is limited.
Just to move on to sentiment then, say, what's sentiment like on farms in the UK, dairy farms?
It's positive at the moment. Several milk price increases. You know, it's moving in the right direction. We're moving to a 4 in front of the figure, you know, the 40p mark. There's a new milk buyer who's increasing demand. There is a bit of competition getting there. It looks good. You know, the weather's turning slowly, but the sentiment is positive at the moment.
Right, and I think we've seen as well that John Stanley, our other agent in the UK, has seen a demand for organic stock as well, cows. There's been a bit of a lift noticeably in that.
Yes, there has. We've got good demand for organic stock. John's got several customers looking, so we are actively looking for organic stock at the moment. If there's any out there, you know, we are keen to hear from you.
And maybe to finish on feed then as well, we've had both islands a long winter. What's feed situation like in yards?
On most places it's good. Last year forage quantity was there but not the quality, hence why milk production's been down this winter. I think there's a few getting a little bit nervous, you know, but grass has started now. There's a lot of fertiliser getting out this last week, and hopefully, you know, we're getting towards mid-March. You know, things will start turning the corner soon, but yeah, people are a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit.
Okay, very good. Look, thanks for your time, and for any more information or prices or availability, please contact us there on our website or phone numbers or whatever, okay? Thanks very much.